Okay, folks, look, you guys read that title, right? So listen, I'm gonna do this video a little bit differently. I'm gonna go ahead, instead of talking and doing all that I do in the beginning, I'm gonna talk as I work, right? So, you seen the title, you know what we're making a one-pot meal, right? And check this out, it's like enchilada pasta, super easy. Now I'm putting heat under my pan right here. This is my pot, right? So you can do a pot, pan, Dutch oven, whatever you would like, right? So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with my olive oil. Just want to get a little bit down here because I want to go ahead and soften up, you know, my onions, right? Now for this one right here, I like to use, listen to this, I like to use the yellow onion, folks. Really liking the yellow onion for the flavor. Now I got a few ingredients right here. Don't forget, you guys know they've been following me for a minute, that my full ingredient list is on my website, which is smokingandgrillingwithab.com, and that's WITAB.com. Now, for this recipe right here, it requires to have some Monterey Jack, right? Now listen, I practice what I preach. I have a block of cheese right here. This is my block. And if I pull this up right now, there it is right there. You want to go ahead and shred it down yourself, right? This gives you the best melting factor without all of that grease that you get in the pre-shred. We got our shredded cheese, that's done, right? I got some cream cheese. This is gonna be key because you're gonna want this to be room temperature. This is about all I need. I just need a couple of ounces, you know? That's to get it nice and silky. Now that I have okay, so I didn't say this, but this is my infused olive oil. Everybody know I like to use branch and vine, garlic infused, right? So we go ahead and just start giving this a head start. Because you know what, I always feel like onions need a little bit longer to go, you know, as far as everything else. Right, so I'm gonna let these start to soften. Probably only be in about a couple of minutes, right? Now I like for these to be coated just a little bit. I reduced my fire down a little bit. It was a little bit hot, right? So all you need is like a medium flame just to heat up your olive oil and then drop these in, right? So these are probably only be in there, like I said, just about 2 minutes. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start with my ground beef. Everybody know, 80-20, that's where it's at. Now I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section below, you know what I mean, if you like this type of format so it could be just like a little bit quicker, that way we can get right into the action, right? And don't forget, if you like this content, don't forget to like, and if you're new, subscribe. Now, if you guys come on in here, we starting to soften up, right? Now I'm gonna go ahead and just add my ground beef to it, right? And again, this is 80-20, and then for those of you guys that don't know, that's 80% beef, 20% fat content. The fat, that's where we get our flavor from, folks. Now, if you guys come here and take a look at this right here, let me move this out the way so you guys can look. You see how it's starting to cook? We don't want to see no pink, right? Now, I have a meat masher, which would be great for this recipe right here. If you guys are new to the kitchen, cooking in the kitchen, you know what I mean? I suggest you get one. And then for my seasoned people, I got it. We use bamboo, wooden, or wooden, you know, utensils. You know what I mean? But let me show you something. Look at this right here. Now this right here is like a rubber or like a certain type of plastic, some kind of neoprene device. What it does is, you see what I'm doing? This helps me break this up so that I don't have no bigger chunks and it can cook evenly, right? And then for those of you guys that don't have like a pot like this is hex clad. If you're using a non-stick or something like that, or even in your Dutch oven, this right here won't scratch it. You know, it broke up just the way you like it, right? You don't see no more pink. Everything, you know, your veggie is nice, which is your onion. It's nice and soft. Look, I'm finna add some taco seasoning. Now, if you don't have taco seasoning, don't worry. All you gotta do is go to the website, right? Which is smokingandgrillingwithab.com, and that's WITAB.com, right? And then I'll have an option for you guys. You can make it out of your own, you know, seasonings that you have. You know what I mean? But I have a brand that I like that works. And then for those of you guys that have my seasoning too, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just tell you this, my B seasoning from my A and B, you know, level up collection, that'll work great in here too. So I like to give everybody options. Look around at it. Now you can start seeing the flavor in the inside. Look at the color. Now you know when you have a well-seasoned product in the beginning here, once we reach the end, you know it's gonna be fire. Now, notice that I changed to a spatula, right? Reason being, because I like to be able to get around the side. I don't like seeing nothing stuck on the side. And when you're using something like this, you really can't get it the right way, right? So that does it for me right here. You guys should always have like a rubber spatula whenever you're cooking. That way you can get off the bottom, whatever you need to do, right? Just great practices. Now, this is my enchilada sauce. I'm gonna use this brand right here. Now this video right here is really about it being like a mainstream video, something that anybody can make. It's super fast on the, the prep time and the cook time, you know what I mean? And then don't forget, it's a 1-pot meal. All right, so add this. Now, on my website, I do have, if you want to make your own, I have a killer, which is basic and easy, and it'll get you in the game. You guys can level it up how you want to. But for me, this right here and this brand, really any brand of enchilada sauce that you guys can get at your local grocery store, works, right? So now that I have that mixed up, I'm gonna go ahead and raise my fire up a little bit. What we want to do is bring it up to a boil. If you guys have a lid for whatever you're using, like if you're using a Dutch oven and you got one, I have one for this, but for the sake of right now, I just want you guys to see it and how it look. Now, if you guys come in here and look, now we coming up to a boil, right? This is cool. This got the enchilada sauce nice and hot. Everything is starting to marry, right? Because we got all of the, our taco seasoning in there, right? So now we're gonna come with beef broth. Now, I'm gonna say something to some of you guys, you might not be able to understand this, but listen, if you don't have beef broth, and because most people have chicken stock or chicken broth in their house, right? You can use that as well. But since I used it like this, and it's enchilada, we using the word enchilada, I just think beef works great. But I'm gonna say it's best, but I'd say that using chicken broth is great. So either one, I don't know how to say it. You see I was struggling trying to figure it out. All right, so look, we're gonna go ahead and use rotini, rotini pasta noodle, right? So if I hadn't said that, I just wanted to make sure you guys know that. Now you can obviously see I put my top on. I needed to get to a boil much quicker, right? Than just looking at it. So right now you got a lot of enchilada sauce. You got the beef broth. Then you have the rest of your ingredients, right? This is what I love about this here. Now we're gonna go ahead, instead of doing them al dente, you cook everything together, right? So let's get these in here. Just like you see, right? Don't need the whole pack. They're gonna absorb some of this flavor, and swell up. Then we're gonna make it nice and cheesy, right? So what we wanna do is we wanna wait till it comes up back to a simmer. Then we're gonna go for about 15, 20 minutes. I'm gonna say in 15 minutes, we're gonna take a look at it and see how it is, right? Okay, folks, so look, I'm gonna have you come on in here. My timer just went off, right? So it's been 15 minutes, right? So let's go ahead and look at it. There we go. Get my spatula. Look at that right there. Now that's nice. I don't think I need to go to 20 minutes. Let's just check the doneness of our pasta noodle. Oh yeah, nah. We did this as far as we going, right? So I want you to check this part out. Now I'm gonna turn off my heat, right? I'm getting ready to add my corn. Now listen, this part right here is completely up to you guys. If you want to put corn in it, you can. I just try to make it as filling and hearty as possible, right? And normally when I make this, I do about 1.5 pounds all the way up to 2 pounds of meat. It's really up to you how you want to do it, right? So remember we talked about if you want to put sour cream in there, cream cheese, it's already room temperature, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna add that and we're gonna let the residual heat just go ahead and melt this, and this is what helps it get nice and silky, and creamy. Now, with it being nice and hot, right, you can see it just starts to, melt right on in. Then if you want to make it a little bit fuller, you guys can go ahead and add a little sour cream in the inside, right? I know when we have enchiladas, we put it on the outside, right? But let's just go ahead and get us a couple heaping scoops, right? Now we're gonna go ahead and give that a stir, get that going. As soon as I see this go away, now I'm finna bring that Monterey Jack into play. Now I got it, you guys can use any type of cheese you want, but I'm just trying to make it where, listen, I tell you the flavor here is way over the top. And then you guys can see how much this makes right here. For those bigger families, I would just say go ahead and do what? That's right, double the recipe. All right, so when you guys come in here, take a look at right here. You can see as it cools, it really thickens up. The corn was a nice filler. I don't know, if you guys like to add olives, you guys can. I like to have a little olives, and I save some back because they help with the garnish. Now, I got some cilantro. I went ahead and just cut me up a little bit. You know what I mean? Just to add a little color. Cilantro does give it a little bit of taste too. This right here is just nice. What we're doing is we're building a lot of layers of flavor. Then we're gonna add a little bit of the diced tomatoes, right? So I just put a little bit in here, even with the juice, it's okay. I did drain it, but we just want to get a little bit in here for one and give it a, well, let's just say it this way. First off, it adds to the flavor profile. And second, it adds a little red. Now look at it. You guys saw it when it was done with just the cheese, but take a look at it now. You know, I'm just add just a little bit more, and you can save a little bit of your diced onions, you know, for your topping. All right, so only thing left to do now is to just put it in a bowl. You know what I mean? And I can't wait to eat this right here. All right? Now remember, we tasted this in stages. I don't remember saying that in this video, but when I mix, I taste. So if I need some more seasoning in there, you know, I add it. But look at this right here, folks. You got a big family, you guys can go ahead and, like I say, double that recipe. But this right here will give you 6 servings like this. All right, folks, look, I done took a few pictures. That's how you guys are here. You're obviously looking at that thumbnail. But listen, I'm not finna over talking. I'm gonna go ahead. You see that right there? Ooh, wait. I done had a sample of it already, folks. I can just tell you this. Hopefully you can get the reaction like how I had before. Check it out, folks. Dinner ready. I had to double up, you know, on them spoonfuls. This right here is nice. And you want to talk about being creamy. Look, you can look at all of the different ingredients that we put in here, just like to level it up. You know what I mean? A great filler. This is a confidence builder for like all of my new people. And just anybody want to make something, and it's low budget, come on, folks. Make me want to drop my napkin. Now, let me know down in the comment section below. Hey, and you guys, don't forget to like this video, you know? Now, if you're new to my channel, as I just said, don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there, listen, there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. It's Kool-Aid time. I'm out. Peace.